Yep, we're rolling, featuring Una, who's just decided to jump up on the chair as I'm starting the video. What you doing, Una? Don't know. She's just sort of observing another fragrance review. Tends to be, I have mentioned Una in the past, tends to be I have to lock her out of the room because she runs around knocking things over, making a lot of noise. But today she's pretty chill. Just sort of, oh, here we go. Okay, well, on to the fragrance review anyway. You've got the notes ready. So again, going along the line of clone fragrances I've been doing more recently. Again, I've pretty much gone through all of my EDT, EDP fragrances. Not that I'm not going to buy them in the future. It's just, again, and a lot of people who kind of go along this journey, shall we say, of buying fragrances, they tend to go through waves of trying either similar houses, similar lines, or what's termed as frags, quotation, as in a version of something that's popular or that's already out there, and they slightly nuance it with different ingredients and so on, different marketing. So I'm actually going to do two reviews here in one, because again, I just thought I'd try something different. This is Parfum, oh sorry, no it's not. It's Haramain Detour Intense Noir. Now I have done the previously, I've done the Detour Exclusive Noir. So the names are slightly different, but sound very similar, hence I'm getting confused. But long story short, a bit like the Haramain range that tried to replicate the Creed line of fragrances that I've done, the Silver Mountain Water, the Creed Aventus, Millésime Imperial, I think was the other one. Well, anyway, this brand, Haramain, again a Middle Eastern company, are trying to replicate, not that you can really tell from the bottle, but maybe more so the colour, the Parfums de Marly line. So again, I've mentioned in a previous video, which I reviewed 9 out of 10, which was the Parfums de Marly Leighton clone, which is this blue one here, which I don't want to say is beautiful, because again, I'm kind of old-fashioned. There's certain words I don't like to use, but I really like this. It ticks all of the boxes. I gave this a 9 out of 10. Knowing this, how well it performs, the longevity and so on, well reviewed online. Most people really do review this well. Naturally, I went onto their website. You can buy these on Amazon and eBay and so on, but I thought I'd buy direct from the UK company, which is based in Barking. Again, I'm not going to go into big details. That's not too far away from me. You have Barking in, well, London now, but so we've got, again, the names are confusing me, Detour Intense Noir, the darker bottle, and Detour Echo with no Noir in it, the green one. So we'll go over the notes, put the sprays onto each arm, and give overall review for both. So the price for both of 100ml, oh, and they're both EDPs, by the way. The price is £20 to £30. £30 with delivery off of the website. You can get them cheaper, as I say, but the price online ranges from £20 to £30. So for Detour Noir Intense, the top notes are cardamom, heliotrope, bergamot and pink pepper. Middle notes, lavender, jasmine and geranium. The base is vanilla, sandalwood, agarwood, guaiac wood and amber. So I'm going to put this on the skin, do the review. What I can say is I've had these about a month and a half, coming up for 2 for both of these, and obviously the other Haramain I've had for several months now. All of them are kind of, I don't want to say niche, but I think some people, it's like Marmite again. I don't want to use that cliche saying you're either going to love it or you hate it, because they're very different to what most people will smell. They're very different, in my opinion, to pretty much everything I own, But again, from my understanding, Parfums de Marly line, which these are clones of, they kind of follow that sort of proceeding. From my understanding, Parfums de Marly, all of their fragrances are named after horses as well. So again, that's a bit different. So here we go. And these are quite strong. They're all got that in keeping, strong, long lasting, projecting, especially on the original. But we're going to go through these two and yeah, do the review. That's one thing. They're pressurized caps, so if you just gently spray them, only a little bit comes out, and I'm not going to say hold the sprayer for a long period of time. It depends what you want to do, but as I said, these are strong already. I'm smelling this big time. So again, some people like to hammer them on. Majority of the time I do hammer them on, but with these ones I use a little bit less because they are very strong. So okay, so first of all, I get like a sort of a sweetness, like an almond note. I don't know, again, from the ingredients and looking online, I think that's a common theme. Off of the top, you get the almond note, which I do. I like almond as well. How this starts off, it does morph on the skin, on my skin especially, and when it dries down, I actually prefer it a bit more. It's more woody and dark. And in that sense, with the name being intense, I think it befits it very well because, as I said, in comparison to the blue, the exclusive Noir, which is a clone of Parfums de Marly Haltane, which is spicy, sweet, and so on, got oud in it. This is, it fits the name very well, as I say. Even now, you get like that darkness in there. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it is very pleasant. And how it starts, again, it's nothing special. If I was to review it, not that I'm going to, but I'll give an overall. If I review it at the start, it's like a 7 out of 10. It's pleasant, it's nice. Personally, I like the almond. How it dries down is a bit more woodier. Excuse me, a bit darker as well, and like richer, kind of like and if I was to describe it in terms of, it's definitely like a going out fragrance. I think it would be a bit too strong, a bit too offensive in like an office or a gym or that sort of thing. How I perceive it is very like an intimate setting, like a meal, a date, or going out. This is what I would say with this. In terms of weather, again, how most people say it, and the cliche of it being darker, it's more winter, fall, however you want to say it in America. Let's just say cold weather as a general. Yeah, it's very nice. Again, I prefer it as it dries down. When it starts, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a little bit of sweet, a little bit of spice, but not too much, and that darkness pretty much stays throughout. So again, I kind of like that because, again, I like to have fragrances that I wear for different occasions. I think most people watching this and most people in general are the same. So as I would give an overall, again, I can't come back for the dry down, but I've smelt the dry down in the past. I would say this is like a 7.5, close to an 8. The reason why it doesn't quite get the 8 is because it's limited in its wear, whereas say this one, I think you could wear this all year round and in multiple environments. Yes, they're all got one thing in common. They're good value for money. They're strong, they're projecting, and they last a long time on the skin and the clothes. So again, a 7.5 out of 10 isn't bad. It's just I don't feel that there's anything really special about it. It's nice. I like it. I'd recommend it. But in comparison to some of the other fragrances that I've got that have got a bit more about them, yeah, 7.5 out of 10. So still recommended. And now we move on to the other version, the Echo. If we can get the lid on. Oh, some backwards. Okay, so the bottles, that's one thing I will say. I'm not that I'm marking on packaging or anything. The bottles aren't great to hold. Again, I think I've seen that online as well. It's a bit of a weird shape. The pressurized cap is a nice touch though. But the actual material is cheap and plasticky. But again, we're not reviewing the packaging. So anyway, so this is the Echo. Just leave that there and go through the notes. So again, this is the same brand, Haramain. I just thought I'd knock two out in one video. because there isn't really much to say about them. Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing. It's just for me. Anyway, I won't jump the gun. I'll go through the notes and so on. So this is a clone of Parfums de Marly Haltane, and I might not have mentioned it, but this is a clone of Pegasus by Parfums de Marly. So the top notes: lavender, bergamot, chloe sage; middle, saffron and praline; base, agarwood and cedar. So in comparison to the other darker Noir Intense, it probably has double the ingredients of the other one. But yet the irony is that even though this formula, this one stays very linear on my skin, it doesn't really morph and change like the other one. Overall, I still give this a 7.5 out of 10 as well, because it's something a bit different. But we'll put it on the skin, go for how I detect it, how I perceive it. There we go. Cool. So this one, for whatever reason, even though the Detour Noir Intense is very dark and very strong, the initial smell of this, and it's not citrusy, it's more green, ozonic, is very, like, I can just imagine if you went in on my skin at least, for whatever reason, it just projects like ridiculous, almost like too strong for me already. It feels like I'm going nose blind to it because it's just really powerful. So I'm keeping my arm away. So again, even though formulas might read as such, even though some people might review a certain fragrance as, oh, it's really weak or blah blah blah, even if it's not a fake version, that's why it's so important, and I have mentioned this in the past and other people do, always try it on your skin and then review it, not just review it off of a tester strip or just doing the initial smell of all like citrus and within an hour it goes. So kind of waiting for this to die down a bit, but already ozonic, green, outdoors, the complete opposite of the Detour Intense, which is very dark, masculine, clubbing environment. This has got like a sweetness in there, could be the praline. I've had obviously praline chocolate before, but that could be the nuanced sweetness in there. You get the woods, and there's something in the background. I'm not quite sure again what ingredient that is. It could be the saffron. Again, that's it. I know that that's expensive, so that might be something I've never smelt before or had in food. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, in a curry or whatever, maybe. But yeah, I do like this. This is very different than what I tend to have. I don't tend to have green fragrances. They tend to be ozonic, blue, like aqua, the beach and so on, and then more into the darkness, masculine, spicy fragrances. So this is refreshing for me. And again, I would give this like a 7.5 out of 10. The price is good, the longevity is good. It is kind of linear. There's nothing special about this. It's very pleasant. I think most people would probably prefer this more than the dark one. I think the dark one is more nuanced in that certain people like it. Again, it's just how I perceive it. I think this is an easier wear, meaning this can be worn in more environments. It's not too offensive, albeit it's very strong. So yeah, again, it doesn't morph and change as much as the other one. When it dries down, it is more woody. There are wood notes in both. You do get the woody amber darkness still in the Intense. So again, I would give this a 7.5 out of 10, and I would give the Echo a 7.5 out of 10. So we'll do it as if, oh sorry, wrong arms. There we go. So both are 7.5 out of 10. Long lasting, projecting, that does well on my skin. Different environments, dark, winter, restaurant, meal, clubbing for the black one, and then the green one is more ozonic, maybe outdoors, even in the office, albeit it's very strong, so maybe wear less of it. They last well on the skin, they last well on clothes, 20 to 30 pound, so I recommend both. So it'll be interesting to see what other our Haramain fragrances are like in the future. So we'll end this video there. Both are 7.5 out of 10 and recommended from me.